The silence is over. Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu have finally opened up after a stunning home court shocker. Instead of making excuses, the two champions kept it real, praising Caitlin Clark's domination and sending a clear message. A new era might be dawning in the WNBA.
Look like Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu has broken their silence about this massacre they team just had.
The reigning champions were taken apart piece by piece on their own court, and what followed was pure chaos in the best way. Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart walked up to the microphones after a tough 14-point beating. But instead of pointing fingers or making excuses, they chose a path nobody saw coming. They openly recognized Caitlin Clark's domination and made it clear that a new queen might be ruling this league. So, were the Liberty legends genuinely tipping their hat? Or were they just putting on a diplomatic face after a humbling showdown?
The performance we saw from Caitlin Clark today against a team that started off the season 9-0, a team that is the defending champions, might have been the greatest women's basketball performance we have ever seen. That might have been the greatest showing from a WNBA player we have ever witnessed. That was spectacular. The shots she hit in this game, y'all, were something like I've never seen any other women basketball player ever come close to hitting. There are NBA superstars out there that I have not seen have a game with that.
Picture this. The powerhouse New York Liberty, sitting pretty at the top of the standings, thinking a struggling Fever team would be an easy win. But then the script flipped in dramatic fashion. Caitlin Clark came back from a 5-game layoff and turned the court into her own highlight reel, dropping 32 points, dishing 7 assists, and making a strong case for herself as the face of the WNBA. And here's the wild part. Instead of making excuses or dismissing it, Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart chose to celebrate her performance, praising her when most would stay silent. It was a moment that made everyone realize just how much respect Clark has earned.
Like, we go on runs, they do as well. They're a great team. So I don't think it's defeating. I think obviously we know what a great shooter she is, and I think we just gave her too many easy ones. Obviously she has great range, and her ability to get her shot off is really impressive, especially with missing some games. And so obviously on a personal level, I'm really happy to see her back out on the court, healthy, feeling good, because obviously it's important for them. But
when journalists pressed Sabrina about Caitlin's explosive return, she didn't dodge or downplay it. She addressed it directly. She recognized the artistry in Caitlin's scoring, her ability to find space and execute under pressure, and the pure happiness of seeing her back at the highest level. It wasn't just a formality. It was a veteran superstar acknowledging a future legend. Sabrina even admitted their defensive slips made it all the more comfortable for Caitlin to take over. A powerful confession from someone who knows a thing or two about elite scoring herself.
And we had our moments. We got back into the game. We had that run when Stewie was guarding Caitlin Clark, but then they executed well. And we had so many breakdowns on defense, and they made shots. They really punished us on that end, making 17 threes from 35. It was just too wide open. So
Brianna Stewart's view on the showdown was filled with maturity and a deep understanding of the game, but it came from a unique perspective. As a superstar who has already tasted the highest accolades, MVPs, championships, the kind of legacy most players can only dream of, she could have easily turned the narrative in a different direction. She might have called out officiating, weak defensive rotations, or a bad shooting night. But instead, Stewie chose pure honesty. She recognized something we all saw on the court. The Fever were simply the better team that evening. There were moments during the match when her demeanor seemed more amused than frustrated. A small, appreciative smile when Caitlin rose up from nearly the logo and drained it effortlessly, or a brief exchange of glances between the two, a silent acknowledgement that something special was unfolding in real time. It was as if Brianna was saying, "All right, you got me this time. It's true, we fought back in spurts." There were moments we challenged them, particularly when Stewie was guarding Caitlin directly, trying to slow her down. But their execution remained spotless, and we fell short on the defensive side. She spoke honestly about the team's struggles, the missed matchups, the slow closeouts, noting how the Fever made 17 of their 35 attempts from deep. That kind of accuracy is tough to match. The defensive breakdowns were not a coincidence. They were a direct result of Caitlin's ability to warp the opposition's plans. Whenever she crossed half-court, defenders were forced into tough choices: stay home on shooters or chase the superstar. a puzzle the Liberty simply couldn't solve. That, in turn, opened up countless scoring opportunities for her teammates. Instead of adding fuel to a manufactured rivalry, both Ionescu and Stewart kept their focus on the game itself, ignoring distractions and emphasizing what everyone saw with their own eyes. The numbers back it up. The Fever were red-hot from deep, and their ball movement flowed directly from Caitlin's ability to manipulate defenders and find teammates in scoring positions. Sandy Brondello made no excuses afterwards. She recognized her team fell victim to something special. A perfect blend of scoring prowess, confidence, and unity. A dramatic reversal for a team many expected to control the matchup. It's not just a few breakdowns here or there. It's a systematic pressure that we hadn't faced this season. Sabrina Ionescu kept it frank and simple. Basketball is a game of runs, and the Fever made theirs last all game. Instead of attributing it to a temporary scoring spree, Ionescu recognized it as sustained domination, a reflection of a team clicking on all cylinders. The statistics tell their own story. The Fever made nearly 50% of their three-pointers while the Liberty fell below 20%. The Fever were aggressive in transition, adding 19 fast break points. A dramatic change from their struggles previously, all stemming from Caitlin's ability to control the pace and attack immediately. It seemed to undermine everything we tried to do defensively. The coach tried swapping matchups, employing a zone, and denying Caitlin the ball, but nothing seemed to faze her. That highlights a key difference between a great scorer and a transformational player. Meanwhile, the momentum seemed to follow Caitlin's lead. Whenever the Liberty tried to cut into the lead, Caitlin responded. Whether it was a deep three, a clever pass, or a decisive drive, putting the Fever back in control. Her 7 assists reflect this ability to lift everyone's game, not just her own scoring. Ionescu recognized it immediately. It's not about scoring all the points yourself. It's about making everyone around you better. This matchup raised a huge question for the future of the league. Who will be the team to conquer the Fever when Caitlin is clicking? The defending champions fell short against a team that seemed more cohesive, more purposeful, and more dangerous on this night. The true maturity of Ionescu and Stewart shines through in their post-game comments. Instead of making excuses, they nodded to the reality. A superstar had gotten the best of them, and in honoring that, they raised the profile of the whole league. It's not often you see defending champions openly praising their opponent's performance, but when something special happens in the game, it's worth acknowledging. This kind of sportsmanship, this ability to appreciate a great performance even in a tough loss, makes the league more credible and more dramatic. So what's your view on this showdown? Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more WNBA stories that bring you close to all the action. Thanks for watching.